that would never even think about posting about something like this.
Right.
They're posting. They're like, nah, man, this ain't right. This can't happen, because they're thinking, I've got kids. I have daughters.
Right.
Right? I have a daughter that was actually sexually assaulted by a government official in Florida back in 2010.
Wow.
At a movie theater of all places. So I'm directly connected to, like, emotionally connected to this information. Like, I need to see these people. They should be drug out into the center of town. Right. And they should be hung.
For sure.
And I'll bring the ligature with me to make it happen.
Yeah.
You know, this guy was working for the state of Florida. He had a fake FBI badge. He went into the movie theater as a predator. My daughter was on a date with another kid. I think they were 15 years old. My oldest daughter took them there. And they kissed in the movie and held hands. And he came up to them after the movie. They're so green. He was like, he flashed his badge and said, what you did in that movie theater was against the law. You can't kiss in public like that. They believed him. My kids grew up rich, so they're just green. And the kid, he grew up in the same neighborhood. Wow. He's rich. If we would have slapped this guy, right. Me and you, we would have like, get the hell out of here. Yeah. These kids were like, oh my God. So he tells the date, are you going to college? And he's like, yeah, well, I got some schools looking at me for football. He's like, I can ruin your career in football. So this kid runs out of there, leaves my daughter with this psychopath, this fake FBI agent. He drags her. We got the camera footage in the lawsuit. He drags her to the back of the theater. He opens the back door. We can see the outside camera now looking down. He's got my daughter's arm in his hand. And he's thinking, how can I drag her out with all these cars going by, because a movie just let out? Because she's going to be kicking and screaming. So he closes the door. Then he opens it again. I guess he thought about it a second. I said, you know what? I'll just do what I'm going to do inside the theater. He closes that door, goes behind a curtain in one of the empty theaters. One of the workers walks in on them. Doesn't say anything, turns around and leaves my daughter there with this big, buff, huge guy. My daughter weighed about 100 pounds. Didn't report it, didn't say anything. Even if it was two adults, you would want to be like, hey, this manager, there's somebody in the back of this curtain doing something crazy. Go check it out. No, didn't do it. That's why we won the lawsuit. Anyway, so long story short, he does this thing, sexually assaults my daughter. The guy is so sick, he goes, we're going to go on another date. And he types his phone number in her phone and hits send and hits end in 1.2 seconds. It was just enough to register in the database at AT&T. So I wasn't able to get it on the phone record, but I got the records from AT&T and I got the actual number. The cops this whole time weren't doing anything. I went to Intellius.com. I did a reverse lookup on the phone number, found his address. I pulled up to the house, guns on the dashboard. I'm sitting out in front of his house with my guns for a week. I found out his house is for rent. I sent realtors in to go scan the property, take pictures of everything. I have all the interior layout of his whole house and everything else, because the property was up for sale, even though he was renting it. And then I tracked him to work. I knew how many pieces of corn this guy had in his poop. I had a whole dossier on him. And then the day that I was getting ready to do him in, his two kids came outside, and one grabbed his leg and the other one went running around the yard. They were twins. And that's the only reason why I stopped myself. I swear to you. If those kids didn't run out, they ran out to save his life. They literally, when they showed up outside, they saved his freaking life. Because if those kids didn't come out at that moment, I was going to take this guy out. I was going to put everything on the line. I took the dossier to the police station. I slammed it on the sheriff's desk and said, go get his ass. They opened it. They looked through it and said, how'd you get all this information? I said, I did your job. They went and picked him up, took him to jail. He blamed the whole crime on his twin brother. So, and that's why he had twin kids. It runs in the family. It made sense. He has a twin brother in California. We're in Florida. They have to arrest his brother, put him in jail. This takes more months. Transport him across the country. He loses his job, his house, everything because of this, the brother. Find out, of course, it wasn't him. Eventually, the guy ended up getting sentenced and going to jail, but he only did like 6.5 years or something like that. You know, I mean, come on. Yeah. My daughter's destroyed for life. My daughter is still not the same. She's 32 now. She's still not the same. Yeah. She'll never rebound. There's no therapy. There's no hypnotherapy. There's no plant medicine. There's nothing you can do to clear this. I don't care what you say. It's something that stays with you forever. Right. And it's modified and changed her literally forever. She's never been the same since.